The Lower Mainland Green Team has been quietly working in public spaces throughout Metro Vancouver. Now, these are volunteers who go into public park space and pull out invasive species, and in return they plant native species and trees, and they also pick up some litter. The team was formed a little over a year ago, and it's growing like a weed. Lita Salatian is the founder and joins us now in Studio 10 this morning. Lita, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
How'd you come up with this idea, the Lower Mainland Green Team?
Well, I wanted to get people into parks. A lot of people are spending time online and on watching television. Actually, CBC I quote them. Canadians lead the world in time spent online. So I wanted to use the internet to actually get them outside into parks.
So when you go into these parks, these public parks, are you invited? Or do you ask to go and do that work, or you just do it on your own?
We asked to go into those parks, and we also get invited to go into those parks. So we work with municipalities, we work with BC Parks, we work with Metro Vancouver Parks, and we work with stewardship and watershed groups throughout the Lower Mainland.
So as I said, you pull out weeds.
Yeah.
or invasive species. You replace them with native species and trees. What else do you do?
We also pick up litter, and we also go to farms as well, and we nonprofit farms. I want to get people connected to the land where their food comes from. So it's just I want to get people outside, enjoying the parks, connecting with the parks, and also connecting with each other as well.
And since you started, how much work have you done?
We've had 40 events so far.
40 events?
40 events. I've engaged 600 people. We've removed 30,000 pounds of invasive plants, and we've also planted 1,000 native plants and trees, and we've removed 700 pounds of litter.
So this isn't a team as much as it's almost a small army.
It is.
How many volunteers have you signed up since you started the team?
1,071.
Wow. Now, how do the municipalities feel about this?
They've been very welcoming. They've treated us super well. They've been very supportive, and they've been very welcoming.
Okay, let me ask you this. How do the civic unions feel about the work you're doing? Are you taking work away from them?
I don't feel we are. We've been working alongside them, and I don't think there's any issues at all.
But do you worry that perhaps as your services become more popular and free, that cities won't need employees to do this kind of work?
There's so much work to be done. I'm not worried about that at all.
Where do you get the money? I mean, this isn't free, so what are the costs involved in running the team?
Well, I've been mostly doing it as a volunteer, but I partnered with the Pacific Parklands Foundation, which has allowed me to raise funds from places like TD Friends of the Environment and the Shine Foundation, the Gosling Foundation, and North Face Explore Fund. So they've given us a small grant. Like each of them have given us some money to buy pruners, loppers, plants and trees.
Garbage bags.
Yeah, refreshments, waste pickers.
And so where do you see this going?
I see this going far. Actually, I'd love to start other green teams in other areas in BC in the future, long-term future. But in the near future, I would like actually the Sitka Foundation give us some funding to actually engage youth in parks, doing Lower Mainland Green Team events during weekdays, youth and at-risk youth. So it's just amazing. So,
Lita, could you see it expanding to perhaps shorelines as well?
Absolutely, yeah, no, definitely. We've had events on shorelines where we've done cleanups at Blackie Spit, and for sure. We're anything that has to do with connecting with nature and the environment and cleaning up and taking care of the environment, I'm all over it.
Why do you do this?
Because I love the environment. I'm passionate about the environment. And
I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just, it's I've always wanted to encourage people to be environmentally responsible. And I think connecting them to nature is one step in that direction. And also getting people to feel empowered, as a group, to go out there and actually do something positive. You always hear about the negative things that are happening in the environment, and this is just a positive. This is action. This isn't just talking about, things that we could do to help the environment. This is actually doing something about it.
Have you always had this passion?
Yes, I have.
From the time you're a little girl?
Pretty much. I was running around in the fields and climbing trees and being outside, and yeah.
Well, best of luck with it.
Well, thank you very much.
It sounds great. And you've got how many volunteers again?
1,071.
There you go. Best of luck. Enjoy your summer out in the wild, the environment along the shorelines and in our parks.
Thank you.
We'll look for you. Where are you going to be next, by the way?
We're going to be at Tynehead Park this Saturday.
All right. Okay. Lita Salatian, who is the founder of the Lower Mainland Green Team, and we'd like to hear your thoughts about this story. And are you in favor of volunteers beautifying our city parks and our shorelines? If so, why? If not, why not? Let us know on Talkback. You can offer your thoughts at 604-662-6690 or email us earlyed@cbc.ca.
I'm actually a volunteer of Stony Creek Environment Committee, and groups like Lower Mainland Green Team actually help us so much in maintaining the streams and removing invasive plants from the riparian areas along the creeks, because actually what's happening is those green spaces are being inundated by invasive plants. The parks and Metro Vancouver and different utilities, even BC Hydro, they don't have the manpower and the funds to be able to remove all the invasive plants. So these types of groups are essential for riparian areas to maintain them or at least try to clean them up.
I'd never heard of them before, but that sounds absolutely fantastic. I'm completely 100% in favor of them. In fact, when I get to work this morning, I'm going to look them up and try to find out how to join them. Thanks.